Come on. Yeah.
Welcome to the buffet table of the week.
That's a very nice table. I think it's looking lovely. They've even got flowers.
You, when we prepare this show, hello, by the way. When we prepare this show, you tend to concentrate more on the food than anything else. Do you know that?
I like
all these microphone cables and everything else, and you just come in and say, "Where are the cakes?"
There's
Anyway,
always some really nice cakes, and these are beautiful cakes.
they're very nice cakes.
Can
Thank
you
you to
can you see
again.
that?
Thank you to our main sponsor. Our main sponsor, the Co-op, who's only just got one packet of cakes in at the moment. We have been.
We're very grateful.
We have been affected again by the ferries this week, but we're not going to go into the Gurret Links ban. We've got it down in notes, but we're not going to go there. It will be in the banner when the banner arrives on the island. For those of you watching from elsewhere, we've again been affected by a lack of ferries and lots of weather. We had everything in one day, didn't we?
Yeah, I think
from
we're still
sunshine.
getting that. I went for a walk this morning. It was beautiful,
Yep,
and then when I got in, it turned into
It was
hail.
beautiful. That's outside my bedroom window. Look at that. It's got nice frosty mountains. But yeah, it's been another week. The Liz at the Co-op is saying she had 110 or so trolleys to unpack off 2 trucks today. So
And yet, still, when I go in, there's always things on the shelf. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not as if you're going to
No,
starve.
it's been
They've
all
always
right.
got plenty of
They've done
stuff
all right.
in.
But
Sure
the banner,
they
the
did.
banner,
Maybe not a lot of cake now, but
the banner's still not arrived. It will probably be here tomorrow, and I'm guessing they didn't come in with the regular newspapers because I think, and the banner will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they'll probably come by another courier. So I'm not quite sure what's.
you
what's
can actually get your banner online.
You can.
But
So
you could get it online this week if it's not in
you
tomorrow.
can, and it's
because,
really, really important that you buy your banner this week. Isn't
Oh,
it?
definitely.
It's
because
one of those weeks that you have to buy it.
We're in it.
Yes, we are.
We made the banner. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks to Hugh and Colin for putting us in.
That's a lovely wee
It was a good bit, yeah.
write up.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think we've suddenly realised that over the last few weeks we've been picking up more people every week, so we're up to about 3,000 people now, so it's good. So, right, where's my list?
I've got your list, I think.
Have you?
Have I got your list?
No, that's your list. Oh, I don't know.
I've got a list here.
Oh, that's my list.
That's your list.
Excuse me, folks.
So,
Nothing nothing better than a bit of live TV. Right. Right, you wanted to mention a bit about the banner. We've done that.
the
What?
Clachan Church.
The Clachan Church is... Now, we had a big debate with our guest here today about where the Clachan Church was. I thought it was down behind my dad's old BMW in Kilpatrick, and it's not. And
Is it still there?
What, my dad's old BMW?
Yeah, I mean, is it in a hedge? You
No,
imply that it's sitting in a
Well,
hedge
he wrote
somewhere.
it off. He didn't write it off. He lost a wheel on it, so we had to get it fixed, and I took his license away.
So it's just been left.
But it's down in Kilpatrick, which has nothing to do with the fact that Clachan Church is actually in Shiskin. It's down behind Bell's camping site, I think, down that. Yes, we're getting, yeah. So it's in Shiskin, and they're turning the church into a memorial garden.
That's a lovely idea. That's a really nice idea.
So that has that's just come about recently. That's George Bannatyne that's sorting that out down there. So that's
so
really
you can
nice.
go down and visit it now, or is it not quite?
I think he's putting signposts out. I think give it until the summer. I think, and we'll maybe do a little feature on that.
Yeah, that'd be a
So-
nice thing to go and visit. Be
Okay,
really nice.
off you go with your bit that I can't pronounce.
The Feish. The Feish. We have to talk about the Feish. It's that time, 28th to the 31st of July, but registration, this is the time to get in there and start registering for the Feish. There are 2 tutors going to be on the island this week, going round the primary schools to talk about it. And all the tutors that are at the Feish are the top of their game. I mean, it's fantastic. So children can go and they can have access to clarsach, pipes, whistles, and obviously there's the Gaelic influence. For those that haven't got any Gaelic, there's also a come along and learn some simple Gaelic day in the Ormadale Pavilion on Saturday the 7th of March. either between 11 and 1 or 2 and 4. And it's a really nice thing to do, because whether you want to learn Gaelic as a language or not, it gives you a few wee phrases you can use, and that's really nice. You can understand, because the co-op's all got the different signage as
Does
well.
it mean you can understand what they say on the ferry?
You would understand what they said on the
Hey.
ferry, and you would know that cake is cake.
And the chicken narcosh at the end? What's that all about? Let's not go there again.
But it's a fantastic thing for children to get involved in. It gives them the experience of so many different things. So yes, it's online registration for the Fèis will open on the website from March the 30th.
Good.
Okay.
All
And
right.
any other information you can find out. You can email me or message me here if you want to know any more about it.
Right. You're going to move on to Arcas.
Arcas, yeah, that wonderful. I love this place, Arcas.
A lot of people love it.
Oh, it's a fantastic.
You know, people go down there every day and they'll come out with armfuls of stuff.
That's me.
But, I mean, it must be one of those places that, you know, generates that kind of turnover. You know, stuff going in.
Yeah, but you need to make room for all the stuff you're going to take home. So you have to have a clear out, and then you take it down, and somebody else can use all the things that you've not been using.
I don't understand
and you
women
get new
shopping.
things.
I've never got it. I've never understood it. But anyway.
It's a fantastic, but it's a really good organisation.
Okay.
But they now have the www.arncancersupport.org. They've got a website now, which they never had before. They had a Facebook page. So there's a lot of information on there that you can access about what they do and what's happening. And just since we're on the subject of Arcas, there's a one-day only pop-up shop next month to raise money for Arcas. So that's being held on Sunday, March the 8th in Shiskin Hall from 2 till 4. So if you've got anything that you want to put in, this is the time to donate things, and all the money will go towards Arcas, which is
Cool.
a really good organisation.
Cool.
They do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Do a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Now, while you're in Arcas, if you go out the door and turn right, rather than back to wherever you've left your car, which could be anywhere around there, David Copperwheat in Copperwheat's Coffee Shop is running around Arran on the 21st, I think, of...
March.
Yeah, 21st of March. This is for training for the Royal Marines. He's been asked by them to do something. So he's running around Arran on the 21st of March. He's looking for maybe just a couple of quid if you pop it out of Arcas into Copperwheats. There's forms in there to sign, and the money goes to
Young Minds Charity.
Yeah, Young Minds is a mental health charity for young people. So David's a lovely guy, unlike his dad. Oh, yeah. It's all right. I was cleared for that comment. You're okay. But go in and even just sign the form. We've done some forms for him down there, so just a couple of quid would be helpful for his little run around the island. He thinks it's going to take 10 hours. I think he'll do it in less. I don't know. That's
10 hours.
Yeah, but that's only 5.5 miles an hour. I think he can do it a bit quicker than that. Yeah, he can do it quicker than that. Do it quicker than that, please.
Well, that's the
David.
Young Minds Charity, and there is a youngmindscharity.org if you want to look up and find out more about it. I had a wee look this morning, and it looks
Yeah, I didn't
interesting.
put a link online, but you'll find it when you go down to Copperwheats anyway. We're busy at Arran Graphics doing all the literature this year, and this is something I've wanted to mention for a while, and you can't see it very clearly. This is the Going Places leaflet, and it's produced by the Arran Access Trust, which is not the Arran Trust. The Arran Trust is sort of run in conjunction with Visit Arran. They do a lot of sponsorship of fairly big things. The Arran Access Trust are the people that make sure you don't get your feet too muddy when you go on walks. This comes out once a year, this leaflet, and it's quite informative as to what they're doing, who they're getting coming in to work for them. There's a really nice piece in here by the wonderful humorist Kenny Morrison, so he always puts something quite humorous in here. Arran Access Trust, if you look it up online, they only charge £10 a year, and I think if you do a lot of walking on Arran, I think it's a nice thing to appreciate the fact that you can access.
It's a
paths
great
that
organisation.
You can't do. And Kenny is out there all the time doing stuff, and I've mentioned him before, but for £10 a year, you get your newsletter every year, but you're also helping to pay for all the paths that are being continually sorted out. He goes up to the Goat Fell Pass just here in Kenny and drains it out when he knows the puddles are getting too big and all that kind of thing.
And he's
you
always
know,
that's in weather that nobody
it
else
is,
wants
it's
to go out
horrible.
in.
It's horrible out.
it's,
So,
you know.
so that's a good little thing to get involved in for very little money. Senya's comment, Mark, we're going to leave your comment on because it's substantial, but we'll leave it there and we'll refer back to it maybe later on. Senya is on saying those cakes look good. Yes, the cakes.
They do. They do. Don't they? They look like little flowers.
Yeah,
They look like
spring's
little
coming, and we've got real
I
flowers
know.
here, which is a little bit of a hint
It's got wee flowers in the top.
of what's coming up. Just will you stop on about the cakes? Moving along, we've got some sad international news today, and I don't know why I'm featuring this because it's one of those things you've got to smile at, but you do feel sorry for the guy as well. This chap, if you've not seen the BBC News or other news, this is Mad Mike Hughes, one of the quite few flat Earth theorists, and he went up in his steam-powered rocket yesterday.
Not steampunk, steam-powered.
Steam-powered rocket. He was trying to get to 5,000 feet. And unfortunately, if you do see the video, it's not gruesome at all, but if you do see the video, unfortunately, the parachute kind of gets out and walks off in disgust, I think. And unfortunately, Mike is no more.
Why was he trying to get up there?
Well, he's trying to prove that trying to convince himself that the Earth has got a curve to it. Whereas if he'd gone up the road, because this was in Barstow, and I've been to Barstow many times, it's in the middle of the desert. If he'd driven 100 miles further north, he would have gone into a helicopter in Las Vegas and gone up for less hassle and potentially a bit safer. But
So why wouldn't you do? I don't understand. Why
I
would
just
you do
think the gentleman is kind of mixed up, or was kind of mixed up a little bit, and now he's
that. It's sad.
he's very
it's
mixed
very
up.
sad.
But you do feel sorry for his.
If anyone else
family
has
and-
any comments on the flat Earth, or are we
yeah,
round?
yeah, it's he's not exactly an all-round nice guy anymore. Is he?
It's got a huge following,
But
so
I know it has, but it's I don't know whether there's any flat earthers on there, and the kids are always talking about it at school, but that's just proof that you may have to be mad to believe in it completely. But yes, his rocket didn't work, and it went up about 1,000 feet and came down rather quickly with him inside it. So
it is sad.
it
It's
is
very
sad. It's very sad, and sad for the people that have to go and clean up the mess. Yes, Ian, he was steaming. That's exactly what I put on Facebook, actually. Anyway, so one bit of news we have today is obviously we have a little logo that we've not used before, and that's that one. It's the ferry is actually running at the moment. We're not going to bother with the ferry thing at the moment, but we are actually fully serviced today, I think.
That's fantastic. I don't
And
know how
they were-
long for. Make the most of it.
They were running services at 5:40 this morning. Rather than me. But
Well, the papers
anyway.
were in this morning, apart from Jan Banner, but the papers were in.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Now, while we get our guest on, and I'm going to mute that microphone just a little bit, although it will be picking up sorts of noise, I'm going to advertise my own
I was going to say,
services.
what about this book? I keep
The
hearing
book
about
is
this
coming.
book. Yeah.
This is my...
Smart cover.
But thank you. This is from a trip I'd planned to do when both my parents died. I said I said to myself I would take them across Canada in not quite the format I wanted to take them across, but this is the result of just a few weeks' work. Actually, I haven't been concentrating on this book much recently, but I've managed to crack on with it lately. So my book about travelling across the Trans-Canada Highway will be out in about a week, I hope. Lots of nice things to see. That's the glacier at Lake Louise.
Wow.
That's the glacier that floods into or melts into Lake Louise. And that guy was sitting on the side of the road.
He looks pretty cool.
There was a whole bunch of them in the trees, and then he was just sitting.
I
on
think
the
it's
road.
big. I've never seen one up close. I mean, they're supposed to be huge.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Yvonne's saying that the banner's available at Black Waterfoot Shops, so it must have reached the island now. So
Oh, that's good news.
it must have come in the last couple of hours. And there's a big train going across the Canadian prairies. So I drove across. I think I'm the only person to have done it in less than a month. 25 days, 10,000 miles. It's good fun. A lot of mileage.
What were you driving?
I was driving a Ford V8.
That's
big-
quite
a
a big.
big-
That's a big engine,
a
isn't
big,
it?
a big SUV, a big engine. Yes, right.
Would that
We're
overtake
gonna-
the train?
We're going to go from stunning vehicles to blooming flowers, and I'll let you introduce our guest.
We have a lovely guest today. Yes, thank you, Charlotte. Charlotte, I'm going to try. Okay, Karsmaker.
Yeah,
No,
almost
nearly, almost.
Oh, see, I was practicing for ages, and I got it right first time.
I know, but I've got to
read
read it.
it.
Charlotte Karsemeyer.
Karsemeyer.
Well done.
There we
you
go.
I should-
Very
I see.
good.
Well, that almost sounds Gaelic. It does.
Does it?
It kind of sounds Gaelic.
It's quite a strange name, even for Dutch sort of backgrounds. There's not many of us.
I imagine that you're asked to spell it quite often.
Yeah. I'm going through my residency at the moment. we won't say anything about Brexit. But none of my documents actually have my surname spelled properly. So it's really hard to prove that I've been in this country for 16 years. But hey.
So why Arran? What brought you to Arran?
I worked for the castle as a plant collection recorder for 9 months. Absolutely loved it, moved away, worked for the National Trust in Northern Ireland. Didn't really like it and thought, you know what, I'm going back to Arran because I just loved all the people. And
Do you know, we're going to ask that question one day, and they're going to go, witness protection scheme or something. I'm going to get kicked under the table. Cover is blown. She's not here for flowers.
No.
But you live in Lumlash, but you've got this business up in Whiting Bay.
Yeah, we've got a bit of land. Jamie's, my partner's family have a bit of land in Whiting Bay, and about 5 years ago we started developing it. Armitage sort of levelled the whole area, and we've put deer-proof fencing around, and I've started growing flowers there sort of 4 years ago, and started trading, doing weddings and selling bunches in local shops, that sort of thing.
How long did it take to get established up there? I would imagine. Because
Well, we're still going really, because all the shrubs and trees take a long time, obviously. So certain things like the eucalyptus trees that I planted initially, because I use a lot of eucalyptus foliage.
Oh, is that what that is?
ranging. Yeah, so that's Yuki. Yeah, I've got about 6 different types.
Because you can eat this, can't you?
Well, I wouldn't really. Well, you can.
yeah, go for it.
It's sort of minty.
It is, it's nice.
Do you like it?
Is it poisonous?
No, of course not.
Have another bit.
Eat a bit of hellebore.
I'm not convinced. Mike's saying, can I turn your microphone back on? I did that a bit late, sorry. But it is back on, Mike. So.
It's all right. I'm quite loud.
It is. It is quite nice. So how did you know it was minty then if you don't eat it?
I have tried it.
That's quite good actually.
It's nicer in a bath. So if you want a nice
Right.
natural bath, then you put sort of crunched up leaves in, and then you sort of have quite a sort of a minty sort of bath. Very refreshing.
Okay.
There's a new thing. Do you- small bags of things to pop in your
Well, I
bath.
haven't done that, but maybe that's a good idea.
That'd be a lovely idea.
Great business idea.
Are we charging people for business ideas while they're online? No.
You can do the labels.
So you've brought this in, and
Yeah.
just before you came on, we were talking about what was in here. This is kind of all you can get at the moment, and
Yeah, pretty much. So what we do have a polytunnel and greenhouses, and I do use the polytunnel to sort of force things.
God, daffodils! Look at
I
this.
know.
Oh,
It's
beautiful.
He's
so
a little
cute,
baby.
isn't it?
I know.
It's called tete-a-tete.
Is it? Okay, there you go.
So we don't really have sort of heated greenhouses because it's not part of our ethos really. So this is literally what I can grow at the moment. I've got sort of more hellebores and sort of paler colours, but I've got a small wedding on next week, so I haven't actually picked them.
Do you do
so-
quite a lot of weddings? Yeah.
Yeah, quite a lot. Yeah.
But the one thing that I've been most impressed with is that you actually do this from seed.
Yeah. So basically what I would like to do is to be completely sort of Arran based. So I collect my own seed, quite a lot of my own seed as well by the end of the season, and then sow it again in spring. So I've started my first sort of sowing.
That's
So
a lot of work.
Yeah, so that's my first batch, and I'll have another 2 batches after this. So probably I'll start again sort of mid-March with my second batch, and then sort of towards May with my third
And
batch.
do you have help? Do you have staff, or do you do this all on your own, or do you get some summer help?
It's mainly myself. Jamie does sort of the larger sort of work, so cutting most of the things back. We do employ Emmett as well, who helps Jamie with the gardening side of our business. But you know, both of them help with the grass cutting and all that
You've
sort of
got
thing.
you've got a considerable bit of land there as well, haven't you?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's Jamie's parents' land, really. I'm just allowed to use it, which is very nice.
That's a lot of work up there, though.
It's lovely, but to be honest, when we first started, it was a lot of weeding and all that, but we're sort of catching our sort of momentum now because I've put lots of groundworks down, so everything is covered in a mesh, really, so weeds don't come through, and we've got Gareth's wood chip on top of it.
Cool.
Um,
Good old Gareth's wood chips.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got that in the garden now too,
Yeah.
haven't you?
Yeah, I have.
So it's not that much, but you know, it's a big bit of land. I did employ Carol, one of my friends, for the first year just to set everything up, because we put a lot of time and effort in planting all the shrubs and the trees and that sort of thing. So that's all coming along, but it will take another good 5 years before we have a good amount of stock.
I think this is beyond, sort of below the level of needing a chainsaw. Thank you very much, Mark.
But it's more than just growing. I mean, I'm amazed at how many things you can grow up there. But also you're arranging. I mean, they're beautiful.
Oh,
I mean,
thank you.
Well, you do these lovely. I was looking on these lovely wreaths
Yeah.
and seasonal ones. They're not just for Christmas, are they? You know, you can,
No, we do sort of, well, I do a lot of sort of wreaths, not just for Christmas. I like doing spring ones with heather and that sort of
where'd you
thing.
get where'd you get the peacock feathers? Should I not ask that?
No.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, I won't bother asking that one. Some bald
but
peacocks
you
running
ran a
around.
lot of Christmas wreath workshops.
Yeah, for the first year. So I'm sort of a bit shy, so I don't know why I'm doing this. But yeah, I've been thinking about doing workshops because it's quite nice to interact, because obviously I'm sort of behind the scenes. I grow all these flowers and then sort of deliver them to people and sort of to shops. So people don't actually know me necessarily. So it's
I
a nice-
recognise the person in the middle there.
Finally recognises her own daughter.
I didn't realise
It took about 3 days for Heather to realise that her daughter was in one of the pictures.
But they were great fun.
Everybody
They were
enjoyed
really
them,
good.
and they were all fully booked. By the time
Yeah.
I found out about them, they were all booked up.
Yeah, I put an extra one on, but I didn't advertise because I had such a long list of people that said, oh, well, you know, if you have a place,
Yeah.
you know. So, yeah, it was really successful. It was lovely, and it was nice just to sort of get into the Christmas spirit and that sort of thing.
And all this comes out of your...
Yep.
Is all this from seed, did you say? Or some of it you'll have...
No,
Yeah.
most of that is originally from seed. So certain things are perennial. So obviously I have sown them sort of years ago, and now I can keep cutting them.
Yeah.
And the bulbs, I do buy the bulbs in. So you see on the right there with the pink flowers, those are gladioli. But they're not the big gladioli that you're sort of used to. They're sort of smaller flowering ones.
And what's the best way to get in touch with you if somebody wanted to, you know, have your flowers at their wedding? Do they get through your website? Or?
Yeah, through my website. Or Facebook, but preferable website. So I've got people's details, that sort of thing.
And it's there. No, it's there. There it is. I can't quite do that. I can't quite figure myself...
Mirror,
yeah, all
mirror.
right.
And you can talk them through what kind of flowers would work.
Yeah. So obviously, I'm sort of bound to what the seasons give me. Occasionally, if a bride really is sort of set on a particular flower, I might try and source it from other flower farms in Britain. And otherwise, I am bound to the season. So if someone wants peonies in October, it's just not going to happen. But it's sort of trying to educate people what grows when and what sort of flowers are available in what season, sort of thing. So yeah, it's always best just to speak to me.
Okay, cool. My son has just popped on. Can I have a cup? Only if you empty the dishwasher,
Oh.
Carter.
Which colour do you want,
And
Carter?
and let Dusty out.
We have pink.
Oh, he's got friends. They'll want the whole lot.
Oh, well,
I
maybe
see.
we better start them over here.
Yeah.
Will we,
See,
will
the
we-
kids these days, they can't write properly. What is it? PLZ is please, and have hasn't got an E on the end of it. Yes, Carter, I'll bring you one home. Just
Well,
empty,
wait a minute, I
empty the
think-
dishwasher.
I
and
think
let
we
the
have
dog
to
out.
get in there first.
All right,
Charlotte,
okay.
would you like to have a cake?
Yeah,
There's a
I'd love one.
napkin.
I'm going to go
Charlotte's
for
going to start naming them in Latin now.
I'm going for the green icing with the yellow flower. Very pretty.
Liz from the co-op did actually say to me, I don't know I told you that, but what? Just give me a cake. It's going to be a fight in a minute.
Thank you.
Liz was very complimentary, as has Senya been very complimentary.
thank
She's
you.
saying thank you, and your flower arrangements are beautiful. And certainly, I mean, I'm a guy. We don't do flower arranging, but the wreaths are something else. I think they're really nice. And
you.
I haven't got all the photos you've got on your website, but there is a photograph on the website of the table in sort of pre-preparation mode, and it's quite impressive. Everyone gets their bit of wire and a couple of snippers or
Yeah.
whatever you call them. And
Secateurs.
yeah, thank you. And I've been using secateurs this week.
Well done.
I've been chopping.
What were you doing?
I've been chopping Charles Ford's land up. Oh, no, we've got a bit just here that I'm trying to get sorted out. But yeah, I just think that the whole picture was nice. All that prep's gone into getting your classes in. I think that's really good.
It was really
So-
good fun, and I was just really lucky with the venues as well. So we had one of the venues was Bay Stores, and it was just really nice. It was quite.
Mulled wine was involved in this
Yeah.
one. I did see the mulled
Yeah.
wine coming in.
I made it.
You made the
I
mulled
might
wine.
I might get
Oh.
interested all of a sudden.
Suddenly you're going to start flower arranging.
Maybe I should do a course for men, so they don't
Ooh.
feel so intimidated.
Well, it's not. I mean, I'm planting stuff in my garden all the time. Well, I'm
Right.
trying to before the dog digs it up. But my parents were very big into the gardening. They started up the open gardens in Lochranza, and
excellent.
I think that grew legs, and it's all around
Yeah,
the island
yes.
now. That
Ah,
sort of
it
thing.
is.
Because I used to make the little maps for mum and dad, and mum used to go overboard with the garden. You know, it was just immaculate.
But
Um,
men used to be more interested in flowers because we were talking about this earlier about the florography.
It's a good word.
Yeah, it's a one. It just rolls off the tongue,
You've been
unlike your
dying-
name.
You've been, dying, you've been dying to say that.
I know. A cryptological communication that goes back thousands of years through the arrangements of flowers. Every flower has a meaning. And you can Google this. It's incredible, all the things that, and where you would wear them, how you would present them, how you would group them. Do you,
What not to do.
Oh, it's going to get
I'm tempted.
but do you get people that have a specific thing for a reason?
Yes, yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't grow a lot of traditional things, so like we've just had Valentine's Day, red roses I've given rather than pink roses. But for me, it's lots of people sort of don't like the scented lilies, that sort of thing, just because of
The association.
yeah, the association really. But yeah, no, lots of people are not keen on the colour yellow in bouquets or orange. So that's quite interesting. I don't really know what the reason is, except for maybe yellow is association with sort of jealousy, that sort of thing. I don't really know.
I don't know if it goes
I
that
don't-
deep, does it? I don't know.
Oh no, it can do. I mean, one of the things I read was, if a gentleman gave you a nosegay, I'm not sure. Is that
what?
just because it's a scent?
nosegay. Yeah, it's a small
scented.
sort of posy. Yeah,
And if you placed it here, it meant he was onto plums. But if you placed it above your heart, it meant that you accepted and you loved him too. So there was a lot of communication through flowers.
Stop the show. I want to get off. Alrighty. I'm bringing a Lamborghini over
right,
soon.
okay.
Anyway,
You're going
yeah.
to destroy it.
Yeah. You can create enough
Okay.
oxygen for my car to breathe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at one of I printed some of them off, and a red tulip is a declaration of love, seemingly.
Oh, I love that.
That's really nice.
I love tulips, obviously. It's in
Yeah,
my
you're
DNA.
from Tulip Land.
Mm,
Yeah.
From Tulip Land.
So You've got so you can go through your website to book something.
Yeah.
How quickly can you put something together for somebody? Say there's a funeral coming up or something. Is that sort of something?
Funerals, I can sort of, probably about 3 days,
Right,
at the least, really. In my main season, so if it's off season, I need a bit more time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
some people, obviously, with a funeral, don't have that luxury.
No. It's we do the orders of service here, so we know what it's like all the time.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I've been
But,
working quite a bit with Henry, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you can go onto your website, and
Yeah.
you're not open to the public as such. You don't actually have a drive-in. You can't just sort of drive in and wander around that lovely
No,
garden.
just where the location is, really. We can't open for the public. We are going to have a one-off opportunity this summer. We're going to open for one afternoon on the 21st of June. And it's basically, I'm going to give little tours. There's going to be flower crown making. Is that nice?
Sorry.
Did I not
You're
stir
right
it
there.
properly?
No,
Sugar rush.
no, it's a great big lump of that horrible. It's a pre-packed coffee. Sorry. Sorry, you were saying
I put
Before
a
I
bit
was
of hella
nearly-
more at the bottom.
before I was nearly joining Mad Mike there. So you've got an open day.
Yeah, so
coming
we've
on
got
the
an
21st of June.
Yeah. So there's going to
that'd be
be
lovely.
flower crown making. There's going to be teas and coffees, and all the proceeds go to charity. My chosen charity is the Cat Protection on Arran, and they're getting all the money that is hopefully going to be donated. We're going to sell little posies, that sort of thing. We're going to have activities for the kids.
Excellent.
So it's going to be like a flower festival on the longest day.
And there'll be enough parking down at Shore Road and walk up? That sounds familiar.
I know, that's always a difficult one. So no one can access the place, so people will have to walk up to the flower farm. So they have to find their own parking on the main road, or there's the little sort of lay-by.
And will this be mentioned on your website, or are you going to
Yes,
put it on Facebook?
It's going to be on Facebook
Right.
with the update, and it will be on my website as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good. Well, how do people find you on Facebook? What's the easiest thing? Is it Charlotte's Flowers?
Yeah, it's
Charlotte's
Charlotte's Flowers. Yeah.
I didn't do a link for that because I knew your Facebook, your website.
And you
was
can
in-
also buy Charlotte's flowers in Bay Kitchen in Whiting Bay. You go.
yeah.
I love them. They're in wee jam jars.
Yeah, so
Really
it's all
cute.
sort of
They're
recycled, sort
lovely.
of jam jars. People are very kind and donate loads,
Cool.
and I just put them in the dishwasher, and I've got lots of little jars, and I sell it at Red Door in Brodick as well during the season.
Oh, right, so you can get them in Brodick too.
Yeah, so you can get them in Brodick as well.
And they last really well.
Yeah, well, sometimes they last a really good time, but it's a natural product. So sometimes depending on what the
depends
weather
on-
has done.
Depends if you know how to put them in your house, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I put that in my house, it would be dead tomorrow morning.
No, it won't.
Not just
Yeah,
because the
well-
dog got it.
Well, I'm just
Yeah, you
know.
have to put it really high.
Somebody said if you put sugar in the water, it's meant to help.
Yeah, well, that's basically what your food is. So your food is like a little bit of acidity, so you can make your own flour food. So you can do a little bit of bleach, a bit of sugar, and any sort of vinegar. So it basically stops from bacteria growing in the water. But I would always, you can do a little bit of sugar. It will help. But I would just change the water, 3 times after 3 days, really.
Just change it?
Yeah, it'll keep it fresher, and certain flowers sort of smell a little bit and make the water smell. So it's always good to keep the water fresh.
All right, I never thought of that. Usually
Yeah.
I just look and realise they've drunk all the water and that's why
Yeah.
they're wilting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I go for big vases. That helps rather than small vases.
Yeah, you get more water in, it's
Yeah.
not going to happen so quickly.
Yeah, yeah.
But these are just beautiful.
Oh,
Really
thank you.
beautiful. Love it.
I know, I love the band willow. It's not actually a pussy willow, it's a more cultivated
This one here?
variety. Yeah, it's really pretty. It's quite grey, but it's got a tiny
I'm
pink
gonna
tinge.
completely
Oh,
ruin it now.
Yeah, just pull it out.
No, I'm gonna do something very, very clever here now. If you pull that forward,
Oh wow.
we can show it on that camera there.
Oh yeah.
It's probably well out of focus,
Yeah.
but that's it.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, it's a really good one for this season, really.
It's really pretty.
I just love it, although it's falling apart now. But
Yeah, it's, yeah.
yeah.
So
That-
I do
that's
sweep up
you.
occasionally.
I blame you.
I know I've completely ruined that. Look, the daffodil's sitting out about 4 miles too high.
Yeah, it's all right.
So, go on.
I was just going to ask, do you have a personal favourite? Is it? Can you do? It's like someone saying, "What's your favourite
Tulips
colour?"
from Amsterdam. It's got to be.
Oh,
You know, it's one of these things. Every season brings its own sort of favourites. At the moment, my all-time favourite is the hellebore. So that's those 3 flowers in the bowl, over there on the
Oh.
left. Yeah, them.
Oh yeah, we've got to show this.
Yeah.
Right, he's right here. Yeah. Okay.
So people know them as Lent roses or hellebores or Christmas rose.
beautiful.
I just love them because they just look absolutely stunning all during the winter, and then sort of into spring they almost sort of dry on the plant, so they stay like that for a long time. So they're one of my all-time favourites.
Cool.
They're not the best cut flower. They'll last for a couple of days, and that's round about it. I like keeping them in a bowl like that, just with a little bit of water. They just sort of look quite Chinese or Japanese.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like
Really
it.
beautiful.
That's what I was thinking when you came in. I thought that looks like something, but I couldn't think what it was. But now you said that,
Yeah.
sort of floating candle type thing.
Yes.
Good. All righty. Well, I think we're done, are we? We haven't got anything else. The only other thing I was going to mention, unfortunately, it's the same day as your flower thing, but there is the motorbike exhibit.
Is it all day?
No, yeah, it is all day. Yeah. No, it's on all day at the museum. There's a motorbike, the usual annual motorcycle exhibit.
Right, okay.
I'm only mentioning it because they have asked me to try and get a Lamborghini over. I've got to chuck something manly into this flowery conversation.
Can you get a
so
purple one this time?
I will do my best.
Oh, that
Get
I
sounds
don't know.
lovely.
It depends.
Yeah.
But there's also a very unusual motorbike coming that I've managed to arrange this morning.
Ooh.
I'm not saying anything else.
Oh.
So that will be coming as well. But Ian Leach and the whole bunch of cycling enthusiasts on Arran, there's quite a lot of them. Lenny Hartley and all that sort of thing.
I do think they call themselves cyclists.
Motorcyclists.
No, they call themselves bikers.
Yeah,
It's a
that's-
different thing.
Well, it
is
depends
it
what
not?
you've got, doesn't it?
I don't know.
A
If you've
push
got a
bike or
Harley,
an
it's a
engine.
bike, I don't know. Motorcyclist. Maybe that's a bit old-fashioned. I wouldn't know what to do to get on one. I'm like the Homer Simpson of motorcyclists. I wouldn't know how to start or whatever. It's really embarrassing.
I had a motorbike.
You should always.
It's always really difficult to decide on a date in the summer because
the
there's
21st is particularly busy.
they're
simply
always
because
going to.
it's-
This is always
It's a
gonna be
Sunday
things.
this year.
Yeah.
It's the equinox, so it's going to be mad anywhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
we
a
can
hard
we
one.
can probably get a few things done in one day if you time it all right. So, and
Yeah.
you're open till midnight, which is great. So
I want to go up for the tea, cake, and flowers.
all right.
You did say
Yeah.
something about cake, didn't
Oh
you?
yeah.
Oh yeah,
No,
it's got to be
there's
cake.
There's cake. Yeah.
Yes,
There's
and I
going to be
noticed,
flowers on the cake.
and I do notice that I'm the only one to have had
Oh, sorry.
a piece
Yeah.
of my cake.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Liz.
Okay,
I do
I'll
try
have a
to
bit.
get the
Thank you so
encouragement
much,
going.
Liz.
Thank
We
you very
really do
much.
appreciate.
Right. Well, yes. Thank you to Liz. Thank you to the Arran Banner for the write up this week. Thank you to those people that have chatted with us this week about how we're doing. I think we're going in the right direction with this, and it's nice to have interesting guests in all the time. We've got a few coming in over the next few weeks, have we not?
Some interesting things happening, yeah.
And we will have to move out of here. And we were just saying just before we went on today that we'll maybe I've got a hankering to do a barbecue somewhere and sort of get some people involved. And we mentioned this to Mark last week that we should maybe have a barbecue competition or something, which would be quite good fun.
Weather permitting.
So we'll maybe put feelers out and see who's wanting to do that during the next couple of weeks. Obviously, weather permitting, it's going to have to be Easter or beyond. But Easter's coming up rather quick. You can always tell by my workload, and yours too, I imagine.
I'm actually away for one of the weeks of
And yours
Easter.
too, because all your little
Yeah.
seedlings will start popping up
Yep,
soon.
busy
So
time.
you are
Yeah.
away, yes. We'll have a recorded show the day that you're away.
up to the Edinburgh International Heart Festival. I do this every year. It's wonderful.
And if you haven't heard Heather's harp playing, Wednesday night at Crofters.
In Crofters, 7:30.
As long as you book a table for food, because there's only 2 bar stools, and I want one of them because that's the only occasion I go down and have a pint is to catch her in our interview to say what we're doing next week. But yeah, it's Wednesday night. Yeah, it's always good fun. Yeah, John's quite good fun.
Fat Man and the Angel.
Fat Man and the Angel, absolutely. Right, that's us this week.
Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Thank you. Just
Thank
with
you for
my
having me.
earphone comes
Oh,
in.
it was lovely.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing in the flowers, and thank you for the cakes, Liz.
Thank you for the cakes, Liz, and I will take them home to however many kids I've got in my house at the moment. But that's us. We'll see you same time, same place next week, I
Yep.
think. Yep. So that's us.
Okay.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.